Now folks, here we go with modal verbs. Modal verbs are a kind of auxiliary helping verb which helps other verbs, and they express necessity, certainty, obligation or possibility. If you'll see as we go through that. See that as we go through. They can't stand as verbs on their own. They have to be with another verb, and they don't have infinitives or present or past participles. They are can, could, shall, should, will, would, may, might, must, and ought to. They don't have past tense forms, but could, should, would, and might can be used as the past tenses of can. I can do this, I could do that in the past, I shall do this. Should can be used as the past of shall, will, would can be used as the past of will, and might can be used as the past of may. Apart from ought to, they are followed by the infinitive of the verb they are qualifying or helping without the to. So you say ought to help you, then they have got the to, but I can help you or I should help you, that's to help without the to. I must help you, and so on. Ought to help you, but can help you, could help you, will help you, would help you, and so on. You may be right. You could be right. You must be right. Can means able to. Can you see it? Can you hear me? Could you see it a few minutes ago? Could can be used in the past with have. I was so happy I could have danced all night. It can also be used to refer to the present or the future. I am so hungry that I could eat chicken. I couldn't do that. You could go by bus tomorrow. So that's the future. May and might, and these, as with other modal verbs, there's no s at the end. All of them have no s at the end of the third person singular. So you say he may pass his exam. I may, you may, he may. May and might are usually used to talk about the present and the future, but as I say, might can be used to talk about the past. But when they're talking about typical occurrences, might can be used in referring to the past. Let's get to the top of the page. If you sit in the sun, you may get sunburnt. Referring to the past, a man, in those days, a man might have been hanged for stealing a sheep. Or it could be used to say, surely you could have done something. You might have helped me. I was really stuck. You might have helped me. As much as say, why didn't you help me? I was really stuck. May is used if something is more likely to happen, and might is something is used if it's less likely to happen. He might pass his exam, but it's unlikely. He may pass the exam, I expect he will. May and might can both be used for permission, but might is slightly more for. May I do something? Might I do something? That's you're really asking them there. May we have some more butter, please? Do you mind if I switch on the television? Usually you would say, do you mind? Or can I switch on the television if you're with somebody? You could say, may I switch on the television, which is more formal, more asking, or might even more so. Might can also be used as a noun meaning strength. This is a hymn. Fight the good fight with all thy might. Christ is thy strength and Christ thy right. Lay hold on life and it shall be thy joy and crown eternally. Thy, that's Old English for your. Here's some more examples of how modal verbs are used. Would can be used in the past as the past of will. When I was in India, I said I will be leaving on Sunday. But I could say, when I was in India, I told them that I would be leaving on the Sunday or the Saturday. I asked her to lunch, but she would not come. That's using it as let's see, she would not come. That's then when I asked her in the past. Would can be used as part of a condition. If this happened, then that would happen. That's not past, that's possible future. Would can also be used to express a desire or inclination. I would love to go to India. It can be used to express a wish. Would I were younger. It can be used to express a polite request. Would you please move your car? It can also be used as an alternative to used to, for something that happened often in the past. When we lived there, we would often go for a swim in the sea. We used to often go for a swim in the sea. Only used to is used, though, to express a state that existed in the past. We used to live by the sea. When we lived there, we would often then go for a swim in the sea, but we used to live by the sea. That's used to, something that was definite, a state of affairs. Would can be used to express a conjecture or opinion. They would say that, wouldn't they? Would can be shortened to just D, and so can had. I'd have done it if I'd thought about it. I'd have done it. I would have done it if I had thought about it. Would you like some tea now? Should, looking back, you could say they should. They should have arrived earlier, and they would not have missed the flight. Should can be used instead of is likely to. If you put it out in the sun, it should, or it is likely to dry soon. Should can be synonymous. That's meaning the same as ought to. Ought to conveys a sense of obligation, so should can convey a sense of obligation. I should mow the lawn. Now, it's not this time of year, but I'm actually saying this. I ought to get up. That's an obligation. We ought to invite that old lady around for tea. It would be nice for her. She'd like to come. We should invite that old lady around for tea. It's our duty to do so. We should. We ought to invite that lady. We should invite that lady. Must is similar to, but stronger than ought to. I must mow the lawn today because rain is forecast for later in the week. You ought to go to the dentist and have a checkup. You haven't had a checkup for a long time. I must visit the dentist because I have a broken tooth, so I've got to go. I must. That's more forceful. Have to go is even stronger. I have to visit the dentist today because I've got an appointment, so there's no choice. In the question form, must and have to are about the same strength. Do you have to whistle? Must you whistle? Often must is used in the negative. You mustn't get on the table, pussy. You are a naughty cat. Thank you, folks.